I'm Dominique, the founder of Start the Wave, a non-profit organization focused on empowering, supporting and uplifting change makers worldwide. We do that by funding positive change and action, amplifying voices, and encouraging growth through education and healing. So we were very excited when Geneva from the Interfaith Centre contacted us a little while back to hold space for this wonderful conversation. You know, many queer folks have a complicated relationship with religion, and I think it's important to open up dialogue with heart-centered conversation to better understand each other and support the community. So we're really, really happy to be here, and thank you so much. I'm so excited to hear all of your beautiful stories and kick this off. Thank you.
Hi, so much to heal. So our final panelist needs no introduction. Dominique is the founder of Start the Wave, an inclusive nonprofit organization focused on empowering and supporting grassroots initiatives worldwide. She is also an artist, best known for her role in Sci-Fi's TV show Winona Earp, where she plays a bisexual young woman coming into her sexuality and power. Despite having grown up in an atheist household, Dominique now identifies as spiritual and open-minded, having found great relief, strength, and clarity in surrendering to a higher power. She feels that her spiritual awakening has been a great balm in her journey of self-acceptance, leading her to come out as her queer, authentic self earlier this year.
Thank you, Geneva. My goodness, what inspiring human beings. This has been absolutely magic hearing everybody's stories, so thank you for sharing. For me, I was brought up in an atheist household. We didn't have any faith. There was not really much talk of faith at all in my childhood, and I just thought that was, you know, I didn't really have many feelings around it until later on in as I started to get older, as a highly sensitive individual, I found that the more I learned about the injustices in the world and the pain and suffering, the more it like weighed down on me like really heavily. And I found that not having any faith, how it showed up in me, I suppose, was just like this sense of this weight is the only way that I can describe it, of like knowing that I wanted to do good in the world, but not knowing how, because it just felt like there was so many problems and so many issues, and I didn't really know where to put my focus. And so this led to my mental health being really suffering, and it got to the point where I felt very unwell, and I needed to find something to try and help my mentality, the way that I saw the world, and to try and find the beauty in the world, because it just all seemed so dark. And so I, on my journey, I met a beautiful woman. In fact, I was really drawn to her energy. I'm somebody who's always felt energy and experienced. I felt like I've experienced energy, if that makes any sense. And so I was drawn to this woman who informed me that they'd just come from a 10-day Vipassana meditation course. And she said, "It's funny that you're drawn to me right now. I've just come back from Vipassana." And I didn't know anything about that. But after having a very brief conversation, I was really interested in meditation and diving into meditation. And so it took me a year to actually have the courage to sign up to 10 days of silence and being alone with my own thoughts and my own mind. But it got to a point where I just knew that I had to do something, and this just felt like it had organically come on my path, and that it might be an avenue to explore. So I was heading off to go traveling, and I decided to go out of my way to a little place in Cambodia and do a 10-day Vipassana retreat in Cambodia. And what happened in that retreat is it's very, very hard to put into words, but it felt like my entire being was cracked open and a light shone down and throughout my entire vessel. And really that was the beginning of my spiritual awakening. And it was almost like, the way I describe it is that it was as if I was handed a key to my own happiness in that meditation retreat, but I had to take it and I had to go and open the door. So it was like being gifted a taste at maybe something else, a different way of thinking and a different way of being that was incredibly addictive. I was like, I want some more of that. That feels really good, and that feels like that lightness, and the weight started to lift. The clouds started to part in my brain, and I just started to see things a lot more clearly. And so what has happened since then over the past 3 years, because that was in 2017, has been just an unfolding, I suppose, of really seeing and experiencing the interconnectedness of all things, and surrendering and letting go and releasing the ego and control. And so as I have been really diving into these practices of meditation and various different forms of meditation since then, to try and find my own path with it, my own path of spirituality and how I connect to the divine through various different practices, it has given me a sense of faith, right? Faith for the future, faith and hope, which has been, absolute saving grace. Like it has helped me come out of, in a very negative headspace, and really was a big part of the reason that Start the Wave was born, because I suddenly had hope again. I was like, okay, what can I do? This is something that I can do. And Start the Wave very much being founded on embracing evolution and the law of impermanence, and just like being open-minded to all things and the infinite, as we talk about, like just that we may use different words and different ways to explain it, but really like just the infinite nature of this human experience that we all have. And when I started living that and realizing that actually I was just a spiritual being having a human experience, then it released a lot of things in me. Now, where my sexuality intersects with this story, we're getting there, is that I've known that I was queer since I was 9 years old. I had some experiences that I definitely confirmed to me that I very much liked both male and female, and now all genders inclusive. And I had experiences with a girl, but then after that I had some pretty negative experiences that shut me down. So some moments with friends and that sort of taught me that it was wrong, that this is not something that we should be doing or exploring. And I put a lot of importance on fitting in. And I guess the way that when I was reflecting on how my sort of atheist upbringing intersects with this, I was really taught that like I could be whoever I wanted to be. And so I think that extended really to my sexuality and the way that I saw my sexuality. I was like, I can control whoever I want to be. Really, all I have going on is me and my surroundings. Like I didn't have any sort of, I found difficulty or an inability to zoom out. Like that wasn't taught to me. So it was very much like the focus on me, my experiences around me, and those that are closely affected by that. So I was just trying to fit into whatever everybody else was maybe teaching me to be, or reflecting that I should be. And so I just decided to suppress that side of myself and focus on, the fact that I was attracted to men, and that was the easier route to go. But since my spiritual awakening, I think the journey that I've been on is really coming home to the fact that actually, as Tahil said, like I've been getting to know who I am now on a soul level. Like I'm realizing that instead of being controlling and being whoever I want to be, actually my journey through spirituality is coming home to and learning who I am at a soul level, and that I have been put on this earth as I am, and that much of my journey is to find and love all those unintegrated parts of myself, and celebrate them and free myself from that suppression, and realize that, have faith, I suppose, that I am exactly as I'm supposed to be. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Would you say that meditation saved you? And also, how do you stay focused on your journey and truth when you spend so much time uplifting other people's stories and their journey?
I'm not sure that I would use the phrase that it saved me, but it certainly helped me a lot. There's no doubt about that, and it changed the course of my future. Like, it changed my path completely. It helped me to separate myself from the thoughts that were in my head, which then allowed me to access my gut and understand the difference between the truths that were coming through from a place, a deeper place, and that once I allowed myself to listen to that, it guided me into where I am now, into places that I'm very, very grateful to be. And yeah, so it's been incredibly transformative, and what the path that unfolded since meditation has been like none other but than magical, is the way that I can describe it. Like, it's the synchronicities and the the representation of the interconnectedness of all things has been so apparent that I had no choice really but to surrender to a higher power. Just when I was doubting it, there would be something that was gifted to me by the universe that then led me on to further deepening my understanding. So meditation definitely being the thing that started me off on that journey, but that many things have come along my path since then to deepen my connection to all that is the great mystery of life and the divine. So yes, and what was the second question, Geneva? Sorry.
How do you stay focused on your own journey and your own truth when you spend so much time uplifting other people's stories?
Sure. I think that they inform each other. So it's definitely been a journey of like really getting clear about my needs and my spiritual needs and what that looks like, and being allowing myself to put those things as a priority in my life. So working out what that looks like, whether it be that I wake up and start the day with yoga and meditation and prayer and gratitude practice, or whatever those things look like, and allowing myself and trying to shift my mindset and not see that as something that is selfish in any way, to take that time for myself, but rather that in order to uplift other people and to truly love from the right place, I need to fill up my cup first, so that it seeps over into the universe and creates that light. And that's been a real journey. That's been very, very hard for me personally. I came from very, very a background that taught me that the most important thing is productivity, and that we should constantly be being productive and not taking that time for ourselves. So within my journey, it's very much been a deepening into self-love and realizing what that looks like for me and how those practices can inform that sense of worth and self-love. So but then also I would also say that by having conversations like this, by doing this work, it has tremendous value in my own life. So I'm constantly learning by doing the work that I'm doing. So it's really just a gift. And it doesn't feel like work. It feels just like, what? As if I get to be a part of this. And so, just immensely grateful to all of those things.